may be at church. You may be at work. You may be asleep. God grant that you will be ready when he makes his personal appearance. My God, what if his appearance occurs on a Sunday morning? My prophetic word to you this morning is get ready! Get ready!
Everyone, welcome back to the channel. Share, subscribe, like this video, make sure you put your prayer requests in the bottom. Hope everybody there's having a pleasant Saturday. Craziest stuff in the world. I've just been going through the news and I'm just thinking about how crazy things are now. We've got an alien ship headed our way. Make sure you have the Reese's Pieces out. ET's on his way. This thing, that story's everywhere. Literally everywhere you look. About this UFO going to be here, this big mothership coming, and then you've got the weather off the charts. I've got sent so many videos in the past 24 hours of people just posting videos of their backyards with hailstones size of soccer balls falling. I mean, just flooding, fires. It's just, I've never in my life imagined we would see so many things happening at one time. To where you can't even get it all in one broadcast. Just can't do it anymore. I mean, literally, the windows I've got up, they stretched far and beyond. And it ain't letting up. The news just keeps escalating and escalating and escalating. More countries moving against Israel. More countries moving against Israel. The list just goes on and on. Now listen to this. Turkish FM calls on Muslim countries to be united against Israel's Gaza takeover plan. Muslim nations must act in unison and rally international opposition. This is your Psalms right here. This is it. I mean, you just see all these things, your Gog and Magog, all these things coming and forming right in front of your eyes. Plan to take control of Gaza City. Turkish Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan said on Saturday talks in Egypt. Regional powers, Egypt and Turkey, both condemned the plan on Friday. Is said to have marked a new phase in what is called the Israel's genocide and expansionism policy while calling for global measures to stop the plan. And they're going to do it, but we're not going to be here to see it. Now, as I said, with the Gaza thing, it was going to unleash hell upon this earth. And you're going to see it with your own eyes, believe it or not. You're going to see it. God is warning and warning. He's had enough of this. He's had enough. He's telling everybody that will listen, and most people are not listening, but he's telling everybody that he's had enough. And this is about to go down. Israel rejects such a description of its actions in Gaza, speaking at a joint conference in EULA, and his Egypt counterpart, I'm not going to try to say these people's names, after also meeting Egypt's president, has said the Islamic Corporation has been called on to an emergency meeting. That's all you're seeing right now. All these meetings about Israel, all over the world, in the Muslim country, in the UN in September, all these things in unison. But let me tell you something. God's coming to put a stop to these people. That is what's coming. It's all there, written in stone. Literally, we're watching it happen. Israel's policy aimed to force Palestinians out of their own land through hunger and is aimed to permanently invade Gaza, which is not true. They've tried to send in supplies there, and Hamas keeps taking supplies away from the people by gunpoint. And these other people know that. The Arabs know that. They're just wanting a reason to go in there because they hate Israel so bad. Their goal is to wipe Israel out. Turkey, all of them. That is their plan. And eventually they're going to go for it, and God's going to stop them personally. What is happening today is very dangerous development, not only for the Palestinian people or neighboring countries, he said, adding that Israel's plans were inadmissible. Now remember, if you're going to Zechariah 12, 1 through 3, this is what God was talking about. In the last days, he's going to put Jerusalem basically on the tips of everybody's tongue on this planet. It's happened. Over 150 countries now lining up against them. We've got 80 volcanoes going off, flooding everywhere, UFOs, the list goes on and on. All these are in unison. God told us what to watch for. And if you're watching for it, you'll see it coming. That's why we're awake and waiting for this to take place, because we know it's coming. Trump directs Pentagon to prepare options to use force against drug cartels. This has been the big thing. Mark Fuqua did a really good job on this. Today he was talking about it. Adam did. President Donald Trump has directed the Pentagon to prepare options for possible use for U.S. military force against drug cartels. Now, the Mexican president has already come out and said that's an invasion and will not stand for it. All these things, all in unison at one time. One official said that any possible use of U.S. military assets is not imminent. It remains unclear exactly what the authorization will allow and what military operations could be considered. If I was a betting man, it'd probably be Special Forces, probably Delta Force, the Rangers. It could be Navy SEALs that go in there and try and take these people out. Should this happen? Absolutely. Should have been done a long time ago with the cartels. How many people they have murdered through the years, but just a little too late. There are suit for questions for legality of such operations. The New York Times is first to report that Trump has signed a directive ordering the Pentagon to prepare for military options against the cartels. The Pentagon referred to all questions of the White House, asked for comment. White House spokesperson Anna Kelly told ABC News President Trump's top priority is protecting the homeland, which is why he took the bold step to designate several cartels as gangs and foreign terrorist organizations, which they are. But do I think it's a distraction? Absolutely. The economy's falling apart. Everything seems to be falling apart. Now, they keep calling this guy the man of peace, but I've not seen him do anything, not yet. Almost everyone he's tried to broker has failed, and they will fail this time. When all they're saying is peace, and I've never seen them say peace like this, ever. I mean, and it was perfectly set up, just like the Bible said it would be. I have to smile sometimes because, I mean, it's just exciting to see Bible prophecy take place. Paul told us exactly what they'd be doing. I mean, he saw this time. This is where he saw, people. When God took him up, he saw the time we're in, because that is all they've talked about since November. Peace, 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 peace. And I mean, they talked about it last year, not like they are this year. Give him the Nobel Peace Prize, Nobel Peace Prize, peace, 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 Nobel Peace Prize, Nobel Peace Prize. It's almost like a horrible song that has been written. And I know they're all going to go wrong, because the Bible tells me while everybody else is celebrating this, it's going to be sudden destruction upon them. It's so obvious what's happening, and I can't believe people can't see it. But God says when you're a child of the light, you're going to see it, and the others will not. They refuse to see it, and that's what we're looking at right now. They don't want to see it. This right here, no brainer. Remember I told you yesterday, the same thing that Trump's doing now with Zelensky, it was the same thing that Joe Biden did. It's the exact same deal, okay? Zelensky warns Ukraine will not give up any land ahead of the upcoming things. So we already knew that. Russia already knew that. That's why I said there's no peace coming with this. None. We've said it over and over and over again. They just keep doing the same thing because they know Russia's not going to accept this deal. They know Ukraine's not going to accept this deal. They don't want them to. Please understand, they don't want them to. They want to go to war. If they didn't, they'd already pulled all their resources out of Europe. They're not. They're pulling it in left and right. Listen, if we was trying to put a stop to this, there would not be all the intelligent flights that we're having over top of Kilograd and all these places. We have American people, American soldiers in the air over top of the Red Sea, or the Black Sea, I'm sorry. Too many color seas. So you've got that happening. We've got Predator drones, R-135, circling Russia. If you did, you'd pull them out. They have no intention to pull them out. Russia knows this. This thing in Alaska is nothing but a big shindig for nothing. That's all it is. They have no, I'm going to repeat, no interest in peace. None. Now, the world believes what they're selling them. We ain't, because God told us not to believe it. In the last days, and that's the problem today, nobody wants to believe this is the last days, but I promise you it is. It is the last days, because we can watch Israel to tell you that. So if you know Bible prophecy, you know what you're looking at. You see that we're in the last days. Iran's playing their role, just like the Bible said. The Arab nations are playing their role. the weather, the planet, the way it's acting, all that's playing a role, just like Jesus said it would. The way people are acting, the mocking, scoffing, all this other stuff. It's not the time. You've all been saying this forever and ever. It's all there. For the first time since we've been doing this, and thank God it's all happening at one time, because I'm glad to get off this sinking ship, because it's sinking. What these people are holding on to is going to be ash very soon. But see, they're still doing their little thing. I was scrolling down Facebook, ignoring the warnings. Tom Cody did a marvelous job, as he always does, there on Watchman River this morning. And he talked about this, and he did a great job. Him and Marty, he's talking about Marty's 2-minute warning, which had some great articles today too. Marty was all over this also. We all see the indicators. That's why I tell you, there's the watchmen out there are standing their position on the wall, okay? And they're doing an excellent job of calling out the alarm system that's going off right now. We hear it. It's like a tornado, like in Tornado Alley when you have those loud sirens. That's what we're hearing, indicating that the world is rising against Israel and God's about to take the church out, and it will be, what we're seeing is Jacob's trouble. That's what you're seeing. This thing with Gaza, that sets all this up, people, along with it more. It's going to put it into overdrive. When they go in there, and we already have satellite images of their tanks massing up on the Gaza border, once they go in there full-fledged, the world, you think they're mad now? You ain't seen nothing yet. But watch this. Guaranteed, through this process, the same thing will happen over in Judea and Samaria. I just got a feeling that all this stuff is going to start to, it's just going to buckle real quick. Now, let's mark the time. Now, I want you all to remember, mark the time with the day that when we say, okay, we know they went in there. You'll probably see it on Steve Luckner and all them. You'll start to see that on their programs. They'll start doing lives. So when they go in, you'll watch the way the earth reacts to it. There is plenty of signs, people. That's why they think there's a mothership headed here. That's why there's also a blood moon, 2 solar eclipses in September. They are not for me and you. That's for the Jews, okay? That's their sign that bad things are coming. That's Jacob's trouble. You know, so we're watching those things. That's for them, but they're not watching them. So we are. We know what that means. It's a warning. They got a full on the September the 7th. They've got a half on September the 21st. Then you go in to that latter part of September, and I'm telling you, it's looking pretty disturbing because the world at this time. So I do believe where we at today, we're right here. I think they'll hold off. I don't know how much longer, but I believe by the 1st of September, if we're still here, you'll see a hatred towards Israel like we've never seen, ever, not in our times. It will start to brew and brew and brew. Most of our senators are already. Bernie Sanders was right here in my backyard today, literally. He was literally here. And this guy hates the Jewish people like there's no tomorrow. He hates Israel. So you've got all this stuff brewing, and you'll start to see it brew and brew and brew. You'll see the weather. That's why I told you, watch the middle of the country by the 1st of September. Don't know why. I've been having this feeling to watch St. Louis. At that time period, the 1st of September, and that right there in that time, we did have an earthquake fire off in Indiana today out of nowhere. It's around nothing, right under a person's house. These are all indicators. God's like, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? But September, we'll start to see if we're still here by September the 1st. Now, I don't know when we're leaving, but if we are still here, you will see things start to degrade really quick. It already has. So we've got this thing this week coming up with Trump and Putin. We've already seen you can't trust Putin. God has given us that too many times. I've seen him with a dominoes clock. He will attack this country. He's going to. It's already in their plans. Them and China are right. Them, North Korea, Iran have got this all set up. It will betray these. I'm telling you, it's coming. 100%. God's warned us and warned us and warned us that it's coming. That man has made up his mind what he's going to do. The world's financial system is crashing. Don't let anybody tell you any different. It is crashing. They're going to go to the Great Reset. And I'm telling you, every bit of this is coming. That will set up the Antichrist with one world government, one world money, and you're already watching it happen with your own eyes. All right, concessions to Russia ahead of the scheduled meeting between Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin to the future of the war. The U.S.-Russia meeting is due to take place in Alaska on the 15th. So hours before announcing that meeting, Trump has signaled Ukraine might have to cede territory. They've already said they won't. Zelensky said on a Telegram post on Saturday that Ukraine will not give their land to an occupier. He reiterated that Ukraine must be involved in any solution in peace. But like I said, Trump right now is trying to, all he cares about is a Nobel Peace Prize, people. He doesn't care about anything else. His pride is his downfall, just like Satan's was. And you're going to see all this stuff, and it's going to escalate, just like the thing with Mexico, Canada. He's declared war on India. India is not happy. I mean, the reports we're getting out today about India is not looking good. It's really driving him towards Russia and China. That's what we didn't want to happen, okay? If you was thinking about it on a world stage, you do not want all three of those working together, but Trump has literally forced it into play. The people believe today that America can't be touched. Oh, it can be, and it will. It will fall. How do we know that? It's not even in Revelation. It's not. It's not even there. These things, when God moves, it's going to collapse really quick. When the rapture happens, a mess around the world is going to be like nothing you've ever seen before. The rapture itself is literally going to cripple the world's economies itself. Just it. That's not even counting all the chaos that happens after it. The rapture itself will bring down all the economies. That will crash them all. That will crash the American economy. All the economies around the world will crash that day of the rapture. People will lose everything they have. That will take place. It's going to be such a trying time on them, and it's going to bring the morale of this world to basically a nada, because everybody that has seen inside the tribulation knows that in that time, everybody's walking around like they lost their mother all at the same time. It's a crippling feeling that they feel the day of the rapture, because most of the people, now and all on, they're going to try to cover this story with something else, but a lot of people are going to realize that day they was left and what's to come. They're in the tribulation, and it's not going to be a morale booster by any means. It's going to be horrible for these people. Most will be in such agony. It's going to be bad. That's why we're telling you can bypass it. Somebody was jumping me last night about telling you to call upon Jesus. What the Bible tells me to tell you. Call upon Jesus. If you get mad at that, there's something wrong. Because the Lord's the one telling me, tell you to call upon Jesus in these moments. Okay? He wants you to call out to him. Call on Jesus, and you can bypass all this. Call upon Jesus, bring him into your life. Have a change of mind, people, and believe what is happening, because it's real. Jesus died on the cross for you. He died, was buried, rose again on the third day, according to the scriptures. He literally rose from the dead, conquered death, all for you and me, so we could go home with him for eternity. There's no other way in except through Jesus, okay? And he wants me to remind you each and every day that as simple as calling upon him, that's what he wants. He wants you to call upon him, and he will come. Guaranteed, he will come. So these things are building, and eventually, just like this thing with Trump and Putin, all these things are going to go wrong. Now, that day that they go wrong, it's going to be all at one time, and literally, it's going to fall apart quickly. Australia joins UK, Germany, Italy, New Zealand in condemning Israel's planned Gaza takeover. Remember, once again, everybody's coming in here in September in New York City to plot Israel's demise, okay? Now all the countries are talking about sanctioning them, and I'm just giving you list on top of list of countries right now standing up and saying, okay, we're going to take their minerals away. If we're doing this with them, they're coming up with everything right now. From sanctioning Israel to weapons to food, everything, it's on the table. Now, when they go into Gaza, it's going to be 10 times worse. Then it's going to hit the fan. And I'm telling you, it's going to happen here to September, or right in the beginning of September, when all this stuff is really going to hit. We're still here. So just keep watching, keep your heads up, listen for that trumpet, because it's coming. We're leaving. That's the bottom line. Every watchman knows it. We're just warning you, just like in the days of Noah, that we're right here at the time the water's going to start to fall. We've been waiting and waiting until we got to this point. Now it's all happening in unison. So we're all pretty confident. Every watchman across the board that's actually watching for Jesus can see the signs. They're all building together. Those are the ones who know that Israel is a timepiece. The other ones that are talking about replacement theory, no, they're not going to get it because they don't believe the Jews are any part of this. And so they're not going to believe that, and they're lost. Israel is the timepiece. What you're seeing is Jacob's trouble. That's the 7-year tribulation. It's called Jacob's trouble, not the church's trouble. Church won't be here. We're leaving. That's what you see building with the Gaza, with them going into Gaza, moving everybody out, the hunger, what they're talking about with the Palestinians. That is all part of Jacob's trouble. You're watching it in real time. That's how we know we're in the end times, and we will soon be gone, okay? Any day now, the world will fall apart on a simultaneous day. A dark, cloudy day will emerge out of nowhere. The people out there that are on their vacations and, mixing it up like nothing's happening, it will catch them off guard, and they won't know what hit them. There will be nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. But that day is any day now. It's going to come. How do we know? Because we see it. Paul said, you'll know. You will definitely know. Well, we all know. That's why we're telling you. Get on that boat now, and you can bypass this horrible days of the tribulation that are upon our door, and they're out there. For the first time since I've been doing this program, we all see it happening at one time. We've been waiting for that, to see it, and it seemed like it took forever, but it's finally here. The church is leaving. We're going to be gone. The watchmen across the community will disappear any day now. We will disappear. And the tribulation, Jacob's trouble, will begin. Do not be left here. Get on that boat now. Call upon Jesus. Don't wait another day. You're not promised tomorrow. Okay? I'm telling you, time is ticking. The days of grace, or the time of the church, is coming to an end. It's here. We will be gone, and Jacob's trouble will be unleashed upon this earth. And it's here. Any day now, it will start to take place. Do not be left here when it starts. I love each and every one of you. If I don't see or hear from you again, I'll see you at home. Thank you once again for tuning in to Global Rapture Watchers, where we do daily updates here on YouTube, letting you know that we're one day closer to our Lord and Savior coming back. Thank you for all the support for this channel. This channel was created for God's sheep, those that are waiting for their Lord and Savior to come back and get us in these last days. We do updates once to 2 times a day here on YouTube. Thank you for all your support for the channel. God bless each and every one of you.